Throughout this pandemic, it seems we have seasons where the sky seems to be falling. COVID infections are happening everywhere, and then they're not, until it starts up all over again. Take a look. The epi curve posted by the Oregon Health Authority shows a roughly 3-month ebb and flow. One began back in late October of 2020. Then it was on its way back down by late January. Another began building in late March of 2021, then was on its way back down in late June. The current wave began in mid-July and is now on its way down 3 months later.
I've been modeling that pattern actually since quite early in the pandemic, and I call it the fear and fatigue cycle.
Peter Graven, a lead data scientist at Oregon Health and Sciences University and the person who creates the COVID forecast, says it's most likely us and not the virus creating the waves. I asked if it's our behavior over time. The pandemic sort of quiets down, the numbers go down, people relax a little bit more, they gather more indoors, and then as the numbers start to go up, it's reported more in the news, they get more concerned, they start reacting a little bit, and so that eventually sends it back down again?
Yeah, that's exactly it. That's, the pattern I've seen. In fact, it's been really interesting. There's been times when even before any policies happen, just through news reporting and other people seeing the case counts, people's behavior would change.
You can see that same sort of wave in Clark County. The number of cases per 100,000 shows the pandemic building in November and then falling 2 months later in January. Then building again in April before falling 2 months later in June. Then building again in August before starting to fall 2 months later, now in October.
But there does seem to be, an ebb and a flow.
Dr. Stephen Krager is the Deputy Health Officer for Clark County. He believes a number of factors are at play to create these waves, but the big question he cannot answer is, where does it go from here? Because a lot of people in Clark County are still at risk.
So that's, 300,000 people in Clark County that have some sort of immunity. That means 200,000 people may not. And that, to me, that's kind of like, that explains a lot of why we've continued to see large waves. There's still a large susceptible population, people who can still get infected.
In Oregon, data scientist Peter Graven thinks it is possible that we've seen the top of the last wave. Well, that is until our immunity begins to wear off, and then, without boosters, the sky could be falling again. Pat Doris, KGW News.